Okay, so here's a stack of my, like, mini comics of Mario, which are, like, 6 pages or less. Most of them are less than 6 pages, but the longest one here is 6 pages long, so... Yeah, these are my mini comics. These aren't all of them, there's a couple that I didn't get, but, like, these are most of them. So, anyway, this is a really dumb comic I made called Cake. That was based on a recording I made, like, 2 years ago, because I drew this 2 years ago as well. And, the first page is basically Peach. Everyone's stupid in this comic, just warning you, and it's only 2 pages long. So basically, I made up that this is actually a skit that they put on, and that they're not actually this stupid, because I don't normally make... I have them have stupid moments a lot, but I don't make them constantly stupid. And not this stupid. So anyway, Peach is basically like, it's just like, Mario's gonna love this cake! She baked a cake for Mario, like she always does, and then Toad comes in and he's like, that looks yummy, and then Peach is like, you want to taste test it? And then Toadsworth comes in, he's like, why does Toad get a taste and not me? Well, he calls him Master Kinopio, but you know. And then Peach gives Toadsworth cake, and then it's like, why does he get a slice and I got a few crumbs? And he gives him and then he gives him a slice, and he's like, why does he give a big slice? And it's like, here you go. It's like, why does he get two? It just escalates, and it keeps going on, and like, until, like, soon, the cake's all gone, and Peach just fails, and she's like, Mario's gonna love this cake! Page 2 is stupid as well. So, and this one I really just did a lazy job at this page, because I think my red pencil, or my pink pencil, or something, one of my pencils was being fail, so I couldn't even draw properly. So anyway, because I can't even switch pencils so much back then. I don't know. Then again, maybe I should switch pencils now, and I just don't bother to. I don't know, who cares? So anyway, Peach rings the doorbell, and then she's like, I got a surprise for you. And then he's like, a plate! I've always wanted a plate! It's like, really? He didn't own a plate already? I don't even know. And then Peach looks like a starfish there, because I couldn't be bothered to draw her, so I just drew her, like, super chibi or whatever. And she looks like a freaking starfish. It's like, fail. And then her eyes, like, dong. And then Mario's, I don't even know. I just made up that was, like, a play that they put on for someone. I don't know, like, maybe they put that, maybe they acted that out for, like, their future kids or something. Well, they don't look like the future. Well, then again, I made up that their appearance don't really change. Person wearing purple shoes. I don't know what that is. There's nothing on the other back of that. I don't know what that's supposed to be. This is a comic I made explaining my headcanon on Birdo. How, when, like, she didn't realize that she was born a guy until she was, like, a teenager, or however old, and then she says that she's always felt like a girl her whole life, and then Yoshi's super sweet, and he's telling her, if you feel like a girl, then be a girl. And, like, everyone else, like, not everyone else, some people are like Yoshi and Birdo, but, like, some people hate that think that Yoshi would be disgusted at Birdo's gender, which makes Yoshi seem like a jerk. So, and Yoshi's not a jerk, so, anyway, I think Yoshi will be sweet and accepting of Birdo, which is why I like them together. So yeah, basically, this is supposed to be them as teenagers. I can't remember how old they are in this comic. I think Birdo's, like, 16 and Yoshi's 15, but I can't quite remember. They're around that age anyway. My headcanon's that Yoshi's a year younger than Birdo. I actually have proof that Yoshi is 25 years old. Like, there's evidence from 3 different games why Yoshi is 25. In, where do I begin? In Yoshi, no, hang on, which game do I start with? Super Smash Bros. Melee, Yoshi is confirmed, sorry, not Yoshi, Mario is confirmed to be 26 in the Japanese version of Melee. Your Mario Party 4 says that Yoshi and Mario and all the other characters share a birthday. Yoshi's Island DS shows that Mario and Yoshi are babies around the same time, but Yoshi hatches at the end of the game while Mario's been around for the whole game. And stuff. So, since Mario's still considered a baby, he's probably 1 and Yoshi is 0. Therefore, Yoshi is 25 years old. So yeah, that's just a really quick rundown of why I make Yoshi 25. Because technically it's canon if you look real hard for the evidence. Which I just told you the evidence. If you don't believe me, look at any of that up if you don't believe me. So anyway, yeah. So Birdo, I made up that Birdo used to be self-conscious, but now she's confident because she, like, transitioned into a better, more confident person, and she liked character development, and also Yoshi's encouragement made her sweeter. Sorry, Yoshi was sweet, and it made her more confident, is what I meant to say. Well, of course, it made her sweeter, too, because when somebody's nice to you, you're more inclined to be nice to them, but, you know, I don't know, stumbled on my words. I remember when I posted this, and I thought that people would interpret him licking her cheek or whatever as dirty, and it's like, it just looks cute and innocent when it's a Yoshi doing it. If it was a human doing it, it would be kind of weird and creepy or just weird. But if it's a Yoshi licking someone, it's cute. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, he's basically like, you know, who I want to be your boyfriend, and then I don't know, she's like blushing or something. I don't know. Anyway, anything on the back of that? Nope. This actually is on the back of Bestie's page 9. So yeah, I showed you that in the other video. If you haven't seen that, go watch it. Anyway, but it's 2 hours long, just warning you. It's like over 2 hours. So basically, this is another mini comic explaining a headcanon of, Ruben the Red Toad, also Captain Toad's civilian form, when he used to, back when him and Toadette were dating, from senior year in high school all the way up to this comic, which actually takes place right before the beginning of Super Mario Galaxy, or right at the beginning. But this is stuff that happened off-screen, and not in the actual game. And basically, this kind of also explains why Captain Toad was so arrogant in that game. Oh, I mean, he's naturally arrogant, but also the fact that he just broke up with someone, so he's, like, trying to make himself feel better by talking himself up. I don't know. Anyway, this is, like, for a while, I was trying to think what the reason they broke up should be that kept her bitter at him for so long, and then I thought maybe, well, you'll see. So anyway, yeah, he says beautifuler. That's not me being stupid, that's me writing him being stupid, and saying well, I'm not saying that you're stupid if you say beautifuler, I'm just saying that Ruben's supposed to be kind of a ditzy character. Because Captain Toad was described as a bit scatterbrained or something in the Captain Toad Treasure Tracker trailer. A lot of T-words just there. Anyway, so, yeah, basically, I like his red eyes, though. They look cool somehow. And they don't look evil at all, like, I don't know, they just look cute. Anyway, so they're looking up at they're at the Star Festival. And then that Toadette looks really weird. I don't know oh yeah, this isn't back when I had the Bug Eyes art style for, like, every character, including the Toads. Because I was trying to, like, draw, because, like, I take inspiration from other artists, and, like, sometimes I try to draw eyes like people, I don't know. I keep changing how I draw their eyes, like, really. Anyway, so then she basically has this confession. Yeah, so you know in was it Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door? I don't know what game it was, but it was, well, it was Paper Mario, and then, I don't know, because Paper Mario has been established to be different than Mario. It might not have been Paper Mario, it might have been a different game. I don't know, because I forgot, because I'm a fail. But there was one game where Toadette had a crush on Mario, and it's like the GameCube era or something. I don't know, I forgot what game it was. But anyway, she had a crush on Mario or something. It might have been the Mario and Luigi series. I don't know. Sorry if you know and you think I'm stupid for not knowing. I don't usually play a lot of the spin-offs except Mario Party and Mario Kart, so anything outside of those I'm not an expert in. So yeah, but I did know at some point, I knew that there was a game where Toadette had a crush on Mario, but she feels bad for liking Mario while she was dating Ruben. So then, like, I don't know. Some people have multiple crushes, I don't know. I think that's normal, I don't know. Anyways, Toadette feels guilty because I don't know, she's just the type of character, I guess. She's like telling him that she used to, like, had a crush on Mario, and then he's like, you never acted on it, it's cool. Yeah, you might not remember this, but unless you, like, really pay attention to detail, but Toadette said that in the Waluigi X Daisy comic to Luigi. But I drew that after this one, so I drew that Toadette saying that as a reference to Ruben saying this. So anyway, and then Toadette's relieved that Ruben doesn't mind, but then, oh no. Yeah, sorry. So then Ruben is like, oh no, you shouldn't have opened your big mouth, and he's basically like Mario's way out of your league anyway. If you were gonna cheat on me, I would have thought it would be with someone less impressive like Toad. And Toadette's like gets mad. She's like, what are you saying? And he's like, scratch that. You're too good for Toad. She's just like angry, and then he's like. So yeah, basically I thought that the most meaningful reason for Toadette to dump Ruben would be if Ruben, even by accident and even, like, innocently insensitive, insulted Toad. Even though he didn't mean it in a malicious way, but she still doesn't like it. Also, Toadette gets irritated with Ruben a lot because of his airheadedness or whatever, and is, like, insensitive. Well, not airheadedness, it's because he's insensitive. But anyway, basically a very different type of character than Luigi. Because Luigi always tries to make sure that he doesn't upset anyone. So yeah, you'll be seeing a lot more Luette mini comics coming up. Anyway, so, I'm saving, there's a special batch of comics that I'm saving for after these ones in this pile. So anyway, so yeah, so Ruben's basically like, I'm complimenting you, don't you like being complimented? I don't know, I'm just reading the speech bubbles. And she's like, not when you insult my best friend. She's supposed to be like looking over her shoulder as she walks away, that's what that's supposed to be. I don't know how well I conveyed that. I guess it's kind of, you can kind of tell. I don't know. And then Toad is sitting there, and without Toadette even saying anything, Toad knows what she's gonna ask if she can sit with him. And he's like, of course you can. And that's supposed to be the picture of Toad and Toadette from the beginning of the game. Or, like, based on it. They're watching the starbits fall. And it's not supposed to be Toad x Toadette, it's just a friendship thing. I was like, poor Toad was sitting all by himself, while Toadette was off with her boyfriend. I don't know. Toad doesn't mind, though. He's happy for Toadette, if Toadette's happy, in a completely platonic way. Anyway, yeah, I'll need to put this back in the folder now. Oh, not now, after. Okay, so, this one, oh yeah, by the way, I forgot to mention, these comics, all of these were drawn in 2016, but this was drawn last year, and, this was drawn this year, only a few months ago. This one, I thought it'd be adorable if I gave Iggy Koopa a crush or something, and made Lemmy Koopa, like, sort of the wingman type. I don't know, this one's only 2 pages. It's called Iggy's Crush. Did I tell you the name of the other one? Well, the last one was just called, they didn't really have names. The Yoshi and Bodo one I just called YXB Comic, and the one I just showed you, I called, like, Ruben x Toadette Breakup or something, because I'm really uncreative with comic names, apparently. The first one was called Cake. This one's called Iggy's Crush, so basically, this is when they were 11. In my headcanon, they're 13. All 7 Koopalings are 13. And septuplets. But this is 2 years ago when they were 11 and they still had their old hairstyles and stuff. And this is so kawaii and colorful, like, seriously, I love this. And, so rainbow and stuff, and shiny eyes. Anyway, so basically Lemmy and Iggy, I don't know, basically Iggy's, like, stressed out because he has a crush on this girl named Mixie, who I just made up, some random Koopa girl, because I don't know. Anyway, she appears on the next page. Anyway, so basically Lemmy tries to think of this idea to get them together where he's like, I'll throw a pie in her face and then you tell me not to throw pies. And, like, to, like, do a setup thing, and Iggy doesn't want, even though Iggy's a Koopaling, and the Koopalings are, like, evil and dishonest and stuff, he still, when it comes to having a crush on someone, he doesn't want to be dishonest or something, and Lemmy's confused. Like, usually people make Lemmy the nice one, and I do too, but, like, Lemmy, is, like, confused about, is like, shouldn't we be dishonest because the Koopas? I don't know. And then, like, apparently they just dropped the idea, I don't know, the next day, all of a sudden, they're just being, like, their usual prankster selves and throwing a pie at someone and not realize, and then splats in their face or back of their head or whatever. I think it was actually the back of the head. And then Iggy's laughing like crazy, and then he's like blushed because he realized who it is. Can you guess who it is? It wasn't totally obvious. Oh, oops, that's a picture of her on the back that I drew. I drew that before I drew the comic, I think. Yeah. Otherwise, I would have drawn the 2 pages back to back, so yeah. Anyway, so she looks better there than she does there. I don't know. Anyway, it looks like she's about to cry. Yeah, it hit her in the back of the head, then she turned around. It looks like she's about to cry, and then Iggy's sad and blushing like crazy, because it's like throwing me back to when I used to draw these types of stories all the time about crushes or whatever. Well, I still do a lot of crushes stories, but when I was younger, I used to love stories where the boy was shy around the girl and they hadn't, or they were both shy, or sometimes, and then I moved on to liking stories where the girl was shy. But I'd always used to like stories where neither of them or they were both too afraid or shy to tell each other's feelings, and then later I started becoming more interested in stories where the couple's already together, because then they can tell each other that they love, I don't know, and be sweet. Anyway, so Lemmy basically is taking the blame for Iggy, because he's just that nice. And then it turns out that she actually thought it was super hilarious for some reason, and she's like laughing, I don't know, in case that wasn't obvious. And then Iggy's like feels dejected because now it appears that she was laughing and thought it was Lemmy. I don't know. And then Lemmy's like telling her that it was Iggy, like telling the truth, because he wants her to know that it was actually Iggy. I don't know. And then basically she's like, she blushes now because she likes him too, and she basically. Yeah, the reason Iggy's not as weird here is because I made up that he gets weirder when he's older, but when he's younger, he's more just an innocent child, and then when he grows up, he becomes more Iggy-like, so I don't know. Or more crazy. Anyway, so Iggy basically... And I made up that Iggy is the second nicest Koopaling. I don't know. Like, he's still, like, more evil than Lemmy. But, like, he has a nicer side. I don't know. I like to make... It's weird because I know there's a lot of Koopalings fans out there who like the Koopalings despite the fact they're evil, and it's actually really easy to forget that they're the bad guys because of how loved they are and how much I like them and how people like to write stories about the Koopalings and like as if they were more than just Koopa brats that Bowser used as minions. I don't know. Anyway, because yeah. Anyway, so Lemmy's like giving him the thumbs up or whatever, and it's like a mental signal, it's like go on or something, and then he asks her out to the movies. By the way, I think I mentioned this already, but in this comic they're 11, so yeah, which is adorable because I like characters having a crush on each other when they're like preteens or something for some reason. So anyway, so then she basically is like, sure, I'd love to, and then blah blah blah, it's all sappy and adorable and stuff, and then yeah, that's the end. It took me so long to go through that one for some reason. I don't know why, just explaining Koopaling stuff. This one is 6 pages long. This is a 6-page long one I was talking about, so I'll start a new recording. Okay, so basically, this comic takes place 10 years into the future, so 5 years after the 5 years later timeline. Rose is 20 and Lizzie is 18. And by the way, yeah, this is about Rose and Lizzie. I started this comic like immediately after I finished the Waluigi and Daisy comic. Started page 1 of this. So yeah, basically they have this announcement to Rose's parents, Luigi and Toadette. I almost said Toadetta. Oh yeah, I forgot to say the announcement is that they're getting married. Dura should probably mention that. I love how, they have different amount of fingers, like she has 5 fingers and she has 4. Anyway, so then they're happy, and then it switches to Lizzie going back home and telling Birdo and Yoshi, and they're being Birdo's being super sappy and kissing her and stuff on the cheek, like the sappy mom or whatever, and Yoshi's just like, so overjoyed. And then this jerk Goomba is like, you can't get married. And it's like, why not? And that cool, like, I don't know if he's cool because he's kind of, like, unfriendly, but he's, like, got sunglasses on. Anyway, this Goomba is, like, telling them, was like, look at yourselves. And then Rose thinks it's because they look young, because, I don't know if this is probably, like, a jab at my art style, how everyone looks like a kid in my art style, even if they're, like, an adult. I don't know. It's just weird. I don't know why, I just put that there for some reason. And then this Goomba is like, you're a human and she's a dinosaur. So yeah, and then Rose is basically saying, but my mom is a toad and my dad is a human, because apparently interspecies marriage, some interspecies marriage is legal in the mushroom world, like toads and humans, but not humans and dinosaurs. For some reason. Basically, because I'd already established that, Rose and Lizzie sometimes get weird looks for being a human-dinosaur relationship. But nobody minds that they're both girls. It's just people mind or think it's weird that they're different species. And then this Goomba is like saying, yeah, your parents were interspecies and they raised an argumentative little, and then Lizzie cuts him off and she's like, we're leaving. And it shows that Lizzie has become more confident, because Lizzie never gets angry when she's younger, or she rarely does. But here she actually is irritated at him, and she just walks away. So yeah, oh, and apparently page 2 was on the other side. Okay, so, but then Rose basically calls Aunt Peach, because Aunt Peach is her aunt, because Mario's her uncle, because Luigi's her dad. So yeah, anyway. Adoptive dad, but you know. She's like, yo, Aunt Peach. Yo, Aunt Peach, I don't even know. And it's like, and then she just basically is like, can you legalize interspecies, cross-species marriage, whatever. I don't know if cross-species makes sense as a term. And then it's established here that human-toad marriage is legal, but not human-dinosaur marriage. And then Peach is like, she's supportive, but she's saying that she doesn't have the authority to do it unless there's a demand for a vote or something. So she gets her cousins, who were also her friends before they became cousins, because those two, there's two others that are her cousins too, but they're not shown on screen, because I ran out of room to draw them. That's Ace Pilot, not Pilot, but Pilot, and that's Daffodil Dandy. I didn't make up her last name until later, but her name, I just made it Dandy, because I don't know. They were both adopted by Mario and Peach, a little bit after she was adopted by Luigi and Toadette. But there was like 4 toads, and Rose was like, one human. They were like a group of friends that were orphans, and then they ended up all becoming adopted, and Rose was like the cousin of all the others, so. And Rose was like the leader of them. I never actually drew pictures or wrote stories of them, like their life before being adopted, but I did make up that they were friends before that. Anyway, there's also one named Fungi and one named Pizza Pie. That's not his real name, but, and Pizza Pie's a boy, Fungi's a girl. Pizza Pie's the youngest. But yeah, Pizza Pie doesn't appear in this comic. Anyway, because I didn't find a place to put him. So they're like, with picket signs marching down the street or protesting or whatever. Meanwhile, Lizzie is on Yoshi's Island underground, which made me think while I was drawing the scene of the Yoshi's Island underground theme that goes doo-doo, dun dun dun. I don't know how to sing it well enough, but anyway, so Lizzie's like trying to ask a shy guy on Yoshi's Island who is like the marriage organizer or whatever at Yoshi's Island, and he basically is more polite about it because he's like saying that right now the laws of Yoshi's Island say that the Yoshis can only marry dinosaurs such as Birdos or other Yoshis, and then he's like, but everyone does agree that we should change the rules, and then apparently he tells Lizzie there's a demand in the Mushroom Kingdom, and then, blah, blah, he's like, I'm trying to read what that writing says. I'm reading off the camera for some reason, and not actually real life. Yeah, if they succeed, we'll change our laws too. And Lizzie, like, is polite, thanks him, I almost said thanks her. And then she, like, climbs out of the pipe, and her legs look weird, I don't even know what happened there. And she's like, I better find Rose. And then, that's the page I just showed you. Really? Oh, that's only page 2. Wow. And then they're like, and then they both realize they didn't have their adopted pet child thing that I made up. That's an alien creature that I made up. That's adorable. Named Twizzle. And then apparently Twizzle has run off somewhere, and the Koopa and the Goomba found it for them. And they're both irritated. And then they just give it back. Luckily, they gave it back. And it wasn't some, like, kidnapper that got it first, luckily. But, basically, the Goomba's like, this just shows you a human and a dino are incapable of raising children. Rose is angry, because apparently she becomes more hot-blooded when she grows up. And then, I don't know, Lizzie's head is kind of big there. I don't know, but anyway. So, yeah, and then, yeah, they're at home watching TV, and then Rose is like, they're just talking, and then suddenly this annoying lady comes on the TV, and she's doing this commercial that's saying you can say no, which is a reference to, I don't know if anybody remembers this, or you probably don't unless you're Australian, but, last year there was a thing with the gay marriage vote, and everyone was like, it was this thing if people would legalize it or not, and luckily it ended up being legalized, but, like, there were these really annoying you can say no commercials that really irritated me, and I just would hate whenever they came on, because it's just like, oh, shut up commercial. That's basically what Rose says here. Except she's flipping off the TV that I censored it, because in my Mario comics, I try to make them mostly G-rated, anyway. Or more like PG, because I think the implication that someone's flipping it off is enough to warrant a PG rating, but anyway. Yeah, but when I draw South Park, I don't censor it, because they have little chibi hands anyway, so I don't know. Anyway, yeah, she definitely reminds me of a character I made up here called Christy Banks. Yeah, yeah, so Christy Banks is a very hot-blooded character and a hot-tempered. Anyway, that's not who I'm talking about. That's not a character from Mario that I made up. That's my own series. Anyway, so basically Rose is angry. She becomes more angry when she grows up, probably because she's, like, hormonal. I don't know. Lizzie probably doesn't experience the same thing because either she's just passive or because she's a Yoshi and genetics or biology is different. I don't know. I don't know if I don't know if it was implied or that Rose stormed off there, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know if she did or not. Anyway, so then I'm taking so long to talk about each page. Like seriously. So then Ace and Fungi, who's that girl there? Oh, by the way, they're adults. The girl adopted children of Mario and Peach are adults, but not Pizza Pie is like 13 or something. Oh no, sorry, no, hang on a minute. They're not adults. No, hang on, I'm trying to remember how old they are. Yeah, in this comic they're adults because it's 10 years later. That's right. So yeah. And then basically, let's make our own commercial. And then this is also a reference to the gay marriage commercials, but this time it's a positive one, and it's based on this thing I saw on TV while these people were walking down the street, and then these people were saying like, so Birdo's like, I'm doing it for my daughter, and then this character that I made up who is Yoshi's brother, Loshi, that I know it's a really uncreative name, but he came from a dream I had. I had a dream where there was this random person on DeviantArt who had a light blue Yoshi character named Loshi, who was like calm and laid back or something. So basically that was from a dream I had, so I made up him in real life. And it felt like I was stealing someone's character, even though I wasn't, because the person that made him up was from my dream, so technically he was my character to begin with. Or he is my character. Anyway. So yeah, he's like, I'm doing this for my niece, and then Mario's like, I'm doing it because it's right. Because in the commercial there was somebody saying I'm doing it because it's right. And then there's Luigi, Toadette, Birdo, and Yoshi. Notice how both couples are consisting of a green boy and a pink girl. I think green and pink go well together for both couples, and just in general. Anyway, so it's like, vote yes for interspecies marriage. So yeah, then this Goomba is still unconvinced by the commercial that they made. And then, I don't know, and then, oops, don't spoil. And then he's just, like, got tears in his eyes for some reason. And then Rose, I made it Rose here because I thought I should show Rose's compassionate side since I've been making her angry throughout this whole comic. So I made Rose be like calming down here and trying to reach this Goomba and trying to question, and then he's just having this flashback about his parents who adopted him. One of them was a Yoshi, the other one was a human. And this is him as a child. That's his silhouette. So I don't know, I was trying to make it look kind of dramatic there. And like basically his parents always argued, and he always thought it was because they were of different species. Oh no, maybe it was. Maybe things were different back then. Who knows how old this Goomba is and how long ago this flashback happened. I never really made up how old he is. He's definitely an adult though. Probably at least 30s or older. Because I don't think anyone younger than that would be allowed to be put in charge of marriage counseling or that high of a position. Hang on a minute. Sorry, I totally said marriage counseling. I meant marriage, like, I don't know what it's called, marriage organizer or marriage something, I don't know, the person who decides if you can get married or not. I don't know if there's like somebody you talk to when you want to get married to like organize it. I don't know how it works. I never even been to a wedding in my whole life. Unless I went as a baby and I forgot. I don't think I did though. Anyway, I've seen them on TV though, but like in sitcoms. Anyway, I said this in the Waluigi and Daisy comic. I said that I get all my wedding ideas for stories from sitcoms. Yeah, so then Lizzie gives this speech about how love isn't about species, it's about like your personality and compatibility and stuff, if I can speak right. And also, that applies to gay couples too. Like, you shouldn't judge them just because they're the same gender or whatever, or because one of them or both of them have no gender, or I don't know. Like, you should judge them based on how compatible they are, not based on anything else. So yeah, anyway, so and then she points out that Yoshi and Mario are like two of the world's most famous heroes. They're best friends, and guess what? They're a human and a dinosaur. And then this Goomba is convinced. So yeah, cause if a human and a dinosaur can be friends, then who's to say they can't be lovers? Obviously, I don't ship Mario x Yoshi. I don't hate anyone who does, though. I don't hate people who ship things just for shipping something I don't. I'm not one of those people. I don't go around bashing people's shippings. I'm fine with people who ship Mario and Yoshi. I just personally don't. But I do friend ship Mario and Yoshi. Anyway, then the end of the comic is like totally not a flat. It's like I just totally made the end of the comic take place before the beginning because he's asking how it went. And then, because I wanted to do another version of this scene, because a similar thing happened in the Waluigi and Daisy comic, where Rose asked Lizzie if she wanted to come to the wedding with her, and Lizzie misinterpreted that as an early proposal, and she actually just meant you want to come as my +1 or something. Because apparently, did Lizzie have to be a +1? She should have just been, spoilers in the next comic, she should have just been invited, but I don't know, maybe Rose just wanted her to be a special guest because they were in love, I don't know. Anyway, but then, I wanted to do this scene again, but slightly different. So this time she really does propose while she's at the arcade. Okay, I don't know why I drew Rose in a hoodie. I don't know if it was like, this takes place in winter? Maybe the arcade has like really chilly air conditioning, so that's why she's wearing a hoodie. I don't know. Because Lizzie and Rose love hanging out at the arcade, by the way. That's their favorite place to go. They're a couple of teenagers who live in a world full of gaming, so of course they're gonna love video games. Anyway, so yeah, and then she asks, will you marry me? And then instead of you lose, like last time, the machine says score. So yeah, I don't know. So yeah, that's like a really big last panel. Anyway, don't get confused, but this one's read right to left because I wanted to attempt at making a manga about Mario. This one's short too. This one's 4 pages. Anyway, so I'll read it. I'll read it because I wanna. I don't know. I kind of want to read it, but then people might say that my Japanese is bad because there is Japanese spoken in this comic by a couple of the characters, and one of the pages, page 3, is like almost entirely Japanese, which is used as Google Translate. So actual Japanese people or people who are fluent might say that it's really bad because it was used with Google Translate. And there's always people who's like, oh, you shouldn't use Google Translate, like you should. I don't know, but I don't know how else to get Japanese words quickly. I don't know anyone who speaks it fluently unless I know somebody who doesn't. I don't know that they do, but I don't know. Or somebody I've never asked about. I don't know. Anyway, I named this Yoshi Lara because I don't know, first name that came to mind. Lara sounds like a young name, but I don't know, she's supposed to be middle-aged or something. I don't remember. I didn't make it Miss Candy because she teaches at the primary elementary school from a Shy Kid Heart, but this is daycare. Toad is 2 years old in this comic. Yes, it focuses on Toad again because he's my favorite character. Anyway, so Kinopio, as he's called in this comic, because this is before he gained his nickname Toad, or Toad is his last name in my headcanon, but his other friends call him Toad, probably last name basis, first name basis, I don't know. Anyway, so I don't know why she's calling them chillins. Is she Southern or something? I don't know. And that's just class of mushroom, because I don't know. That was a failed speech roll that I changed into a sign because I didn't want to have any fails on this page for some reason. So yeah. Anyway, so yeah, anyway. Anyway, sorry, I'm just stalling. Sorry if you're getting bored. I don't know why I'm just focusing on each panel, but basically it's read right to left. So, yeah, Kinopio is 2 years old in this comic, and he's very shy in this comic. This is before he had anybody to help him open up. He had his brothers and his cousins, sure, but his brothers aren't with him right now. I don't know where they are. Maybe they're in another room, or maybe they're probably in another room. And his cousin is in this comic, but you'll find out what the problem is with them in a minute. So she calls him forward, and he's like saying that he is who he is. He's introducing himself, and these bratty kids are making fun of him for not speaking English, which is really mean, but you know, they don't know any better because they're only like 2-year-olds or something. Usually 2-year-olds wouldn't be old enough to be mean to someone. They wouldn't have had enough time to absorb any meanness. I don't know how 2-year-olds work. I haven't been 2 years old in a long time. I don't remember anything that happened when I was 2. Anyway, so then this teacher lady, Laura, or whatever, is like telling them to... Oh yeah, I think it made it a Yoshi because like Yoshis are known for like taking care of infants in games, so yeah, that's probably why. Anyway, she's like telling them to be respectful and stuff. And then Toad apologizes because he thinks it's his fault because he's like really self-deprecating and shy. And then Ruben comes up to the front of the room, and he's the opposite of Toad. He's super confident and cheerful, and he also speaks English. And yeah. And he's just like, sorry about my cousin, you'll get used to it. So yeah, then, oh, that baby, actually, is he a 1-year-old in this comic? Yeah. He's basically supposed to be hippie before he became an adult. Or opposites before he became an adult. That's hippie when he was a baby. He was already wearing sunglasses and a bib that said cool. Like, okay then. And of course he doesn't have a beard or I forget if hippie is a mustache or not. I don't think he does. But, wow, I can't remember. That's just sad that I don't remember. I'm pretty sure he only has a beard. Actually, no, wait. I don't know. I'm pretty sure, no, I don't think he has a mustache. But, and also back when he had short hair, not long hair. Because babies, 1-year-olds don't have enough time to grow long hair. Maybe they do, I don't know. He doesn't. Anyway, who cares about how long his hair is? Anyway, so Ruben is basically already making some friends or whatever. And he's like, you want, oh no, he's just blah. And then all of a sudden, Toad comes over. Or he's known as Kinopio here. And sorry if my Japanese is off. I use Google Translate for most of this. So, gomen nasai. Watashi wa Nihon janai. Sorry, I'm not Japanese. I said it in Japanese in case a Japanese person who doesn't speak English is watching this. I don't know why they would watch a video in English if they don't know any English, unless it was to learn English, but I don't know why they'd pick this video, because this isn't a how to learn English video. This is a video about me talking about Mario comics, unless it was a Japanese person who was really interested in Mario comics, and they were like, oh look, someone drew Mario comics, I'm gonna look, I don't know. Anyway, so, I don't know. So he's like, can I play? And Ruben's like, sorry, I can't understand you. And he's like, never mind. I put the English translation underneath in small. I was trying to make the writing like small, like I think manga does that sometimes. I don't know if it does. He's sitting in the corner, sad and blushing, poor thing, but he's so adorable. And then somebody asks him, are you alright? Can you guess who it is? Well, I don't know if you guessed correctly or not, but yep, it's Kinopio, also known as Toadette. Anyway, I don't know why I gave her like an overly long sweater or a huge sweater dress thing. And she basically, this is the page that's almost entirely in Japanese. So, gomen nasai if my Japanese is off. I don't know why I said gomen nasai instead of sorry. Anyway, gomen nasai. Anyway, so basically, she's asking what's wrong, and then this comic page might make you think that I ship Toad and Toadette, but I actually don't. Like, it's a cute idea, but I personally don't. I personally see them more as friends. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, I don't know why Toadette looks like she has French braids or something. I don't know. I was trying to make her hair look Japanese, but I don't know if I did it. I don't think I succeeded. I don't know. Doesn't really look like that, I don't know. Anyway, so basically, she's like trying to get him to open up and feel better. And she's like, and then basically just talking, introducing themselves, and then she asks, oh yeah, by the way, Toadette is bilingual, so she speaks Japanese and English at the age of 2, like, wow, she's so smart. I wish I could speak both Japanese and English, but I can only speak English. Anyway, yeah, one of my goals in life is to learn how to speak Japanese fluently, but I don't really know the best way to do it. It's not expensive or anything. Anyway, I took Japanese class a few years ago, but I forgot most of it, which is sad, but also I was very shy back then. I was kind of less confident back then, so I didn't like speaking Japanese in front of the class. So yeah, anyway, so I didn't say it very confidently. Could probably do it better now, but I don't know. So she's like, do you speak English? And he didn't understand what she said. So she took that as a no. And she's helping him say, I am Kinopio. And then he says it. And then he asks in Japanese, what did I just say? So So she tells him what he just said. And then she's like, would you like to know more? Like, no more Japanese. I mean, no more English. Sorry, he's already speaks Japanese. Then basically she's like, this is a bit later. She after she's taught him, don't spoil the next comic. After she's taught him a bit more, she helps him go and ask his cousin if he can play, and he asks if he can play in English, and then he's like, sure you can, Kinopio-san. Yeah, I think Ruben would pronounce it san and not san because he doesn't know Japanese at all, so he wouldn't know how to pronounce it right. And then he asks, want to join us, pink girl? This pink girl that you speak of, it happens to be your future girlfriend and then future ex-girlfriend, but you're also future love interest. And then she's like, yep. Well, she says it in Japanese. She's like, hi. And then he's like, thank you very much. And then Owari, I think, I looked it up, I think it means end, but I don't know if Google Translate was right. Anyway, this comic is the last one that I have in this pile. This is when I wanted to draw the intro to Mario Party 1 out in my style. So I got really lazy with the background, sorry. The actual game is like trees and stuff in the background, but I completely didn't draw that because I'm lazy and fail at drawing background stuff anyway, so that's why I'm lazy with it, because I'm like, well, why bother, I can't draw. I mean, people will probably comment, oh, but if you try, you'll get better, which I know that's true. I always keep telling people to draw, because I'm like, if you draw, you'll get better, and they're like, oh, I don't want to draw, I don't know, it's just... Anyway, so then, yeah, I don't know. If you know the intro to Mario Party 1, you pretty much know what happens, but there's some bits that I kind of, I don't know, might be different, I don't know. Maybe not that much. I don't know. Not really. I don't know. But anyway, so then blah, and then Mario's arms look weird there. I always can't draw people with their hands on their hips, so it always looks really weird when I draw it. And they always look weird, the arms. I don't know. And it's kind of weird how they're the ones saying their dialogue, but otherwise it'd just be like no dialogue. Because most of the dialogue is Toad. Yeah, anyway. So yeah, this is them all cornering Toad, and then he jumps in the air. And in the actual intro, he's smiling, but I wanted to give Toad different expressions instead of just constantly smiling. So yeah, and being a Toad lover, I love the idea of Toad being a host of Mario Party. Even though I normally like playing as Toad, I actually like him better as the host. Which is why I'm glad that he appears to be the host again in Super Mario Party. Yeah. So, then this page is the page where he says superstar, like, every 2 seconds. And he's basically asking them, yeah, if you want to be a superstar, let's see what it takes to become a superstar, blah, 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 he's pacing, and then there's all the characters, except Yoshi, and then there's Yoshi nodding, like he does in the actual intro. Like, he's basically, like, courage and wisdom and kindness. And then just shows the warp pipe. I failed because it looks like I was trying to draw water, but it's like, why would the water be seen from that angle? Unless it's just wind in the sky, I don't know. And then I drew a star there because, I don't know, I didn't know what to draw there, so I just drew a star. Because I felt like, why not draw a star? You don't see a star in the intro, but it'd be cool to include one in this comic, I don't know. So then it's like this dramatic part, except Donkey Kong looks fail, because I can't draw him. Sorry, Donkey Kong fans, but anyway. Yeah, I don't usually put Donkey Kong in comics. I don't usually draw comics with people that I don't know how to make in character, or have a headcanon version of yet, I don't know. Anyway, there's no telling what kind of danger might await you. And then he's all cheerful again. He's like, do you want to head out into adventure? Yeah, I like that part, so yeah. And then this page has no dialogue. It's just literally Luigi walking forward, trying to be brave, is what I always imagined was happening, was he was trying to force himself to be brave or something. And then Wario, like, runs, and then the others run. I was trying to make it look like Peach is holding her dress up, but, like she does in the intro, but I don't know. I don't have no Donkey Kong there. And And then Mario shrugs, and then he just runs after them. Doesn't even look like she's running. Mario's gone. It doesn't even look like he's running. It looks like he's just got an idea or something. That's supposed to be a top view of the pipe. It looks really weird. And then I didn't have a reference for the title screen because like the video that I had with me like I had no Wi-Fi when I drew this because I wasn't at home. I was somewhere else when I drew this. So I had no Wi-Fi to look up a picture of the title screen, but I had the video downloaded of the intro on my tablet. But the intro didn't include the original title screen. It included the Mario's Rainbow Castle title screen, I'm pretty sure. And the one that I have on my N64 emulator on the tablet was like one of the other title screens. I think it was Yoshi's Tropical Island. Anyway, so yeah, I just realized if you know that I'm a Yoshi main, it's like, wow, that means I won the last match. Apparently, I don't remember because it was that long ago. I don't remember winning the last match. I don't know. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Maybe that was the intro that I had downloaded. Anyway, who cares? Anyway. Yeah, I like this panel, though. I especially like Yoshi in this panel for some reason. Yoshi's my main in Mario Party for the N64, all three of them. I never play as anyone else. So, like, I pretty much... If I was playing with other people and somebody picked Yoshi before me, I'd be lost. I would not know who to play as. Because I like all of them, so I don't really have a second favorite, but I don't know. My second choice would probably be somebody who's not playable, like Toadette or Toad, who are not playable, and Toadette didn't even exist yet when this game came out. Anyway, I'm rambling by. And now, this series is a series of short comics known as the Hato series. The Hato series, basically, it started off... Well, it's basically just, like, characters reacting to their haters, but it's not really a wide variety of characters. Most of it is Luigi and Toadette, or Toad. But I don't know, I'll probably do ones with more characters. I might do one with Birdo. Because Birdo has a lot of haters for a stupid reason, which is people hate Birdo because of her gender, confusion or whatever. Anyway, this first one was drawn last year. I don't remember what time of year. I think it was July or June or something. So about a year ago. This is an idea I had like one Friday, but then I didn't draw it till the next Friday in art. And basically, I miss when I used to draw comics at school. But now I draw comics at this other place I go to, so that's good. Anyway, so Toad basically goes on Facebook, and it looks like he's at a coffee table, like, way too low. Like, if I was sitting at that, my back would hurt. My back actually hurts right now, but anyway, nobody cares about that. Anyway, unless maybe a doctor's watching, so I don't know why they care. Anyway, who cares about that? Anyway, so basically, that's, like, I don't know, a picture of Toad and Toadette, like... By the way, my headcanon, I think I might have mentioned this already, but Toad and Toadette live together in my headcanon, but platonically, so yeah. Anyway, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and Toadette's like, hey, you gonna watch? I was gonna watch some lunch. You gonna eat some lunch? And then she's shocked, and Toad saw something on the computer. What did he see? Well, you'll find out. Anyway, he's suddenly convinced that he's ugly and stupid, which he's not, by the way, but you know. And Toadette's being, like, super sweet to him and telling him he's a great person. And shippers would probably love this moment, but I just see it completely as friendship. Toadette. Well, Toadette's blush stickers is for cuteness. Toad's blushing because he's been crying, and he still is crying. I can't draw tears, sorry. I try to make it look sad, but I don't know. Anyway, and Toadette, like, is like, what's wrong? And then he's basically, like, doesn't want to tell her. Anyway, so then she's like kind of like pushing him to tell her because she really wants to know what's going on so she can put a stop to it or whatever, but he doesn't want to tell her. And so she's like, fine, go eat lunch. And then he goes off to eat lunch, and then Toadette is like going towards a laptop or whatever, or she's looking at it or whatever, I don't know. And for some reason the laptop has a Nintendo logo on it, because IDK. because IDK, I don't know. And then she goes and searches, she goes to see his, like, search history, and then she's like, what the flop? I don't know, that expression, like, what is that? I don't know. And then, oh no, she sees something that's a dreaded thing to see on the internet. A Toad hate club with 2 million members, apparently. Like, exactly 2 million. I don't know why I made it have that many. I just wanted to amplify that Toad was like, poor Toad. I don't know. And that's like, Toad sticking his tongue out with X eyes. I don't even know. Oh, he's dead. Like, poor Toad. I don't know. I don't know if I failed at the Facebook logo. Like, I probably did. I don't think that's not quite how it looks. It's like the F is like coming out of the bottom and the left. I don't know. It's like, anyway, I tried to copy off my own hands to see what finger cracking looked like, and of course Toadette has small hands, so it would look different, but you know. And Toadette's basically cracking her fingers there, or her knuckles or whatever, and she's basically like gonna do something. What's she gonna do? Well, find out. So Toad's eating, I don't know if that's spaghetti that he's eating or something. I think it's spaghetti. But it looks like he's eating with chopsticks, so maybe that's a fork, I don't know. Oh yeah, he's eating a lefty. Maybe, oh, is he holding a knife and fork? Or a bowl and fork? A bowl and fork? I mean, a fork and spoon? Why, a bowl and fork? Why would he be using 2 utensils to eat spaghetti? I don't know. At the same time. I don't know. Some people eat spaghetti with a knife and fork, which I find weird, but I don't know. Your choice. Anyway, so basically his phone vibrates, it's charging on the counter or whatever. And he's like, he doesn't want to look at it. And then Toadette's like telling him to check it and like go on. And then he trusts Toadette because he feels like Toadette knows something he doesn't. And then it's a message from his younger brother Wally, and he's like, yeah! He's like, you're a super awesome brother! I don't know. And then these are all messages that he received. Yoshi's like, yeah, well, check out the cool club Toadette made. And then Peach is like, we're here for you, Toad, with a heart emoji. And then, oh, and I think Yoshi's got a smiley face. They all got emojis. This is my character, Hippie. He's like, yo, man, you're cool. With the sunglasses face. And then my character, the Kinopio fangirl, he's like, you're so sweet and cute, with a blushy face. A blushing, cute face. And then Toad is like super touched by all those heartwarming messages. And then she tells him to click the link. I don't know why there's a smiley in her speech bubble, because to show that she's smiling, I guess, and saying it in a nice way and not a demanding way. I don't know. And then he's clicking the link. Apparently he's doing it with his right hand, even though I make him a lefty. It doesn't matter. Anyway, so then he's like so shocked. He's like, is a Toad Appreciation Club with 5 million members, apparently. I don't even know if there's 5 million Toad fans in the world, but well, I mean, the ones from Earth plus the ones from the Mushroom World. Because the Kinopio fangirl is from Earth. But the Mushroom residents probably have access to Earth's internet, I don't know. Maybe. So yeah, at least in my headcanon, I mean. So then Kinopio button was the starter, I mean, the founder of the club, the starter? I don't know. And then this is, you can't really read that. It says, Kinopio, thank you. I really don't deserve all this. And then she's like, sure you do, Kinopio. You're the best. I don't know. Trying to reference Toad's I'm the best quote there, and that's kind of fail. Anyway, yeah. I miss this art style where I used to draw on like a thick black pencil. It wasn't that thick. Like a black pencil for the outlines, and this art style made it look super anime-like or something. I don't know, I liked this art style. I like all my art styles from the past 2 years. I feel nostalgic for all of them. But yeah, the one where, like, my art style from A Shy Kid at Heart was also really nostalgic. But, you know, I find the last 2 years really nostalgic for some reason. Probably because it's my last 2 years of school, I don't know. And there's a lot of music I liked that year. Okay, so this comic, I got the idea... I got the idea from, I'm trying to remember which picture it was. I don't know, but it was, I don't remember, it was like several months ago. It was probably last year. It was definitely last year. Mac Artist 1 on DeviantArt drew something, I can't remember which one I got the idea from now, but it was I don't know, but maybe it wasn't something she drew. Maybe it was just something she was talking about haters. I don't remember. And then it made me want to draw this comic. So basically, Luigi and Toadette are like, because she likes Luigi x Toadette as well. So so they're like being all cute and romantic. And I don't know why they're wearing scarves and stuff. Because I don't know. Maybe it was. I don't know if it was cold weather when I drew this or not. I don't think it was. I don't know. Maybe I just felt like drawing them like that. Then this random teenage girl shows up. And then she's like being annoying to them and saying that they're a weird couple and stuff. And then she's telling Luigi go date Daisy, and then he's like, Daisy? And then this Daisy in her plaid shirt, because I don't know why I like to headcanon Daisy wearing a plaid shirt a lot. And like she's weird there. She's just kind of cute there. Her eyes look derpy though. Anyway, and I don't know what that face is weird. Like, what even is that? I don't know. And then she's like, yeah, Daisy's like your canon love interest. Speaking of canon, Toadette should be with Toad. Like, OMG. And then she's like, Toad and I are just friends. Oh no, I'm reading all speech bubbles. And she basically explains that Toad is like a brother to her. In my headcanon, they're not siblings, but they see each other in that sort of way. And then she's like just like fishing for excuses now. And then she's like, but Luigi x Toadette is like dumb. And then Luigi's like, is it dumb to be with the person you love? And suddenly Toadette shrank like to a tiny little thing. And then she's like, whatever, and she just walks away. Yeah, so basically, not Toadette just suddenly shrank there, but I don't know. Toadette's adorable tiny, but she looks like her kid version. Anyway, so this is another, this is me versus Toad haters, which is based on something I wrote down like a couple years ago, but I drew it out in comic form. It's kind of a lazy, like, looking thing, but that's how I draw haters for some reason. I think I actually stole that design from Mac Artist 1. Whoops, sorry. Anyway, so yeah, yeah, anyway, so they're like, Toad is useless, and then I'm like, so not all characters have to be all strong and powerful, you know, besides, Toad has proven useful before, and then they're like, his voice sucks, and I'm like, are you really going to judge someone based on their voice? And they're like, but he's ugly and annoying. It's like, how exactly is he ugly? He looks pretty cute to me. And then it's like, well, he's a crybaby and a terrible guard. So, some people are sensitive, okay? And if the Toads always protected Peach, then Bowser couldn't kidnap her and there'd be no story. Oh, but what about the princesses in another castle thing? Seriously? That wasn't Toad's fault that Mario looked in the wrong castle. And besides, Mario would want to rescue everyone, right? Not just the princess. He's friends with the Toads as well. Nobody likes him. Oh, really? Well, I just proved you wrong. And then I hug Toad, and it's all cute, and he blushes, and I blush. I don't even know. And I'm not in love with Toad, okay? I just think he's adorable, but in a platonic way. Anyway, it's just blushing to look cute, and Toad's blushing because he's embarrassed about being hugged. But also notice there's less and less haters each time. Also, I hate it when people pick on people for being sensitive, because I'm sensitive, and yeah, anyway. Anyway, so then this is another comic, a 5-page comic about haters. I can't remember what sparked the inspiration for this one. I think I just felt like being random one day, so I just decided to draw this for some random reason. So yeah, so Luigi and Toadette are being cute and kawaii and in their cat suits from Super Mario 3D World. Well, Toadette wasn't in that game, but but like, I still drew her in a cat suit. And then this random hater shows up, and they're being ridiculous. The hater's being ridiculous about it, I don't know. And then like picking on them again. And suddenly Luigi's catsuit is just a hat and the rest of his outfit's back to normal. I don't know how that happened. Because apparently in my headcanon the catsuit headpiece is like detachable or something. I don't know. And then basically he or she or whatever tells Luigi that Daisy's his canon love interest. So basically, it's similar to the other comic so far, but not yet, but not for the whole thing. Not quite. Anyway, and then the hater's like, I don't know why he's suddenly really tall, but, and his head's small, but anyways, like, Toadette's not babelicious, like, I don't even know. I just felt like putting them in, but I don't even know if I spelled babelicious right. Is there even a way to spell it? Because I don't even know if it's a real word. I'm sure people have said it, but I don't think it's a word in the dictionary. Maybe it is, I don't know. And I like how the hater says she's too short and chubby, but she doesn't even look chubby in this panel. I don't know. And then it's like the only character you're good enough for is that annoying Toad. Now shape up, jeez, and they're both mad. By the way, I don't think Toad is annoying, but I think that was obvious by the fact that I'm clearly a Toad fan. Anyway, so then Toadette looks weird there. I don't know what happened there. Her head looks really flat when you don't add the mush cap. I call it a mush cap. Anyway, then she has a really silly dream where Luigi's like a perv with his tongue hanging out, and he's like, "Hey, babe, forget Chubette, you're hot." And Daisy's like posing in a bikini, and like Toadette's like a chubby thing with a ring in a tube. And then she wakes up and she's like slaps herself in the face. She's like, "No, Toadette, he's not like that." Oh no. And then Toad comes along and she's like putting her hair up. That's why one hair side is like down and the other's in a pigtail braid thing. And then, or whatever. And he's like, "Hey, are you okay?" He's like, "Yeah." And she's like, "Yeah." And then this hater gets a plastic hand with a spring. I mean, on the end of a spring. And then he gets pushed towards her. What will happen? I didn't want to make the kiss look cute because then it might make me ship them, or I don't know. But I was trying to put across the message that they're not in, that I don't ship them, and that them kissing was supposed to be a bad thing. So I made it look just kind of like what, and they're both super shocked. And it's like, oh no. And then Toadette runs off screaming, and Toad is like, "That felt wrong. It's like kissing my sister." And then these random fangirls are squealing or going, "Yeah!" on over them. Because apparently Toadette, I don't think Toadette actually has really fangirls. It has fans, I don't know if there's probably some fangirls, but anyway. And then Luigi didn't see what happened, but Toadette still feels guilty, so she runs off. And then, Toadette's ashamed of herself, even though it wasn't her fault. No spoilers. And then she's crying, poor thing. And then Toad tries to go fix the problem, and then he tells Luigi what happened, and he's like, "Please don't be mad." And then he tells what happened, and then he quickly makes sure he knows it's not her fault, but then he also doesn't want him to think it's his fault either. And then Luigi luckily is understanding and nice and stuff, and he's like, "I know how your friendship works," and he knows that they're not in love. And then he's like thankful that he understood. And then this random hater / fangirl is like apparently wrote a 271 chapter Toad x Toadette fanfiction. I don't know how what you could write about them that would go on for that long, but unless it was like some big deep dark story, I don't know. Like big epic thing. And then this person thinks Luigi x Toad is hot. Like, I think the idea of Luigi x Toad is cute, but not hot. Anyway. Anyway, so then this part of the comic was based on, because there was like a gap between that page and this one, because one of my friends was saying how Toadette has no character, which is not true in my opinion. I think she does have character. But anyway, one of my friends said she doesn't. And then I put that in this comic, and then Luigi is like sad that Toadette's getting picked on by that random hater, and then she falls over and he picks her up, and he's like all mushy, and he's like, "Oh, I love you, and you do have character." And then she suddenly has anime eyes. I tried to make it look like anime eyes anyway, and then she's like, they're talking in Japanese again. She's like Ruigi-kun, because his Japanese name is Ruigi. Anyway. Then they kiss. Toadette's tiny. And then Toad is like a shipper. And he's like, thinks they're adorable. And then I tried to make it look like anime here as well. And he's like, let's ignore all those haters and just enjoy each other's love. And she's like, agreed. And then I just ended the comic here because, yeah, I just felt like ending it here. So, yeah, now, the next comic coming up. Okay, so this comic, basically, Mac Artist 1 that I mentioned a couple times before, actually, I drew this to help her feel better because somebody was being mean about her liking Luigi and Toadette. So I decided to draw this to help. Anyway, so I made up this, you know how I made up Rose, a fan child for Mario and, not Mario, Luigi and Toadette? I almost said Mario and Peach, it's like, no. Well, I made up another fan child that's like 10 years younger than her. She's like 5, and Rose is 15, because Rose is too old for this part. I wanted to make like a little kid of them, draw a picture of them, of Luigi and Toadette. You know, as some little kids draw their parents and stuff, and it's like adorable and stuff. Anyway, so she draws it, and she's like happy and stuff. Oh yeah, she's also a lefty, because I like making lefty characters. Anyway, oh yeah, and her name is Mac, by the way. So then this girl named Haley Toadman that I just made up, this random girl, this random mean girl whose outfit looks like Eric Cartman, because yeah, I felt like making her look like a South Park character for some reason, and except a Toad version. And then she's basically saying that her drawing's dumb and stuff, and then she just snatches it and she looks at it, and she's basically like a wimpy, pathetic human and a stupid, ugly mushroom. So cringy. It's like, how dare you say that? Anyway, she walks away. It's like this evil grin. It's like, I don't even know. And then later, meanwhile, back at home, Luigi is like Toadette sleeping, and like Luigi's holding her. And then he's like love struck, and he's thinking she's so cute. And then suddenly the door gets slammed, and Toadette wakes up, and Luigi also looks over. And then Mac is like coming home, and basically, oh yeah, Toadette got a haircut apparently because her hair's short in this. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, in case it wasn't obvious, this is the 5 years later timeline again, because they don't have kids in the normal timeline. And then she's basically sad because Haley Toadman insulted her and her parents, and then Luigi and Toadette are like are thinking, are we really cringy? And they're starting to doubt themselves or whatever, and then they have bad memories, flashbacks of when they used to get picked on by the haters a lot. Because this is the only one so far I made. I might make more haters comics, but this is the only one as of yet that has that takes place in the 5 years later timeline. Anyway, Toadette's on the computer. I don't know what she's looking at. Maybe she's looking at DeviantArt. I don't know. And then Luigi, or Facebook. And then Luigi is like trying to ask what's wrong. Then he moves her hand off the mouse, in case you couldn't tell what that was. And then he's like being sweet. And then she calls him Louie, which is her nickname for him, I guess. So yeah, so then he just gives her this sweet smile or whatever, and then suddenly it turns dramatic, and she's like, 5 years, Luigi, 5 years of pain. I thought once we had kids, it would stop. Sorry, I didn't do my Toadette voice, because I didn't feel like doing voices. Well, Toadette's voice isn't that hard. I just do a high-pitched voice. It's like, I thought once we had kids, it would stop. I don't know. And then Rose and Mac are looking in at what's going on. And then they just see this, and then Luigi's like, Toadetta, which is what I made up that he calls her, Toadetta. And then there's like cherry blossom petals blowing around for some reason, even though they're indoors. And then there's like, it's like, they may never stop hating, but you know what? We'll never stop loving either. And then she's like, you're right, Luigi, I love you. And he's like, I love you too. And that was supposed to be like some like green and pink silhouettes of them. And Luigi has a pink heart, and Toadette has a green heart. And like they have like those blue, like, what are they called? Those lines, zigzag lines that they have in the hospitals going between them. And I actually somehow made them come out really good. I don't know, I thought I would mess it up, but anyway. Also, he's hugging her, and she's sitting in a computer chair still. In case I wasn't always all this computer chair looks kind of weird, but... Anyway, Yeah, so this comic ended up being a lot more dramatic than I was anticipating, but that actually tends to happen a lot. My stories end up becoming way more dramatic. Like, I made up this one story that was supposed to be really silly, but then it ended up with, one of the girls getting so distressed that she tried to jump off a building, and then her girlfriend saved her. And no, it was not a Mario comic. I wouldn't put suicide in a Mario comic, or attempted suicide. Um, Unless it was like a silly one, like somebody playing a game and jumping into a Goomba on purpose, but that's not what I meant. Um, but yeah, anyway. I know that probably made no sense to anyone. People are probably thinking, "What? How could a story is supposed to be silly and ends up with somebody trying to commit suicide?" They probably don't. You probably don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry, I'm just rambling now. Like, seriously. Yeah. So that's basically all the Hatos comics that I drew so far. I'm pretty sure that that's all of them anyway. I should draw one about Birdo or draw one about Mario. I think I should actually. Maybe I'll draw them tomorrow, because I'm going back to that place that I draw at tomorrow. I mean, I could draw at home, but I'm always too lazy to draw at home. Like, every time I want to draw something, like, seriously, I just get so lazy. And usually when I draw, I don't know. Lately I've been drawing South Park. Not that much, but a little bit. Anyway. I'm just rambling now, so bye everyone.